The Jedi High Council was made up of 12 Jedi Masters, the most powerful and respected of the Jedi Order, who maintained order throughout the Temple and sought peace within the galaxy. Now, obviously, there have been many Jedi to have taken a seat on the Council, though very few are actually known to history by name. Some of their stories remain mostly unknown, but with each member, one thing is for certain. They were placed there for a reason, and were respected enough to gain their seat. I'm Ewan, you're watching What Culture Star Wars, and here's how every Jedi got on the High Council during the Republic era. Number 28, Yoda. Because he was so old at the time of his passing, like really old, Yoda's past is actually quite mysterious. Though no one knows what species he is or where he came from, and may that forever stay that way, Mandalorian, what is known is that as a youngling, he was taken to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and built his lightsaber with the help of Professor Huyang. A keen meditator with a high attuning to the Force, he attained the rank of Master at the young age of 100, and following his own master's death, he gained a seat on the Council. In time, he would become the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, and is said to have trained over 20,000 Jedi in his near 800-year tenure as a member of the Council. That's gotta be a heck of a lot of Employee of the Month awards. Number 27, Terra Sanube. Not much is known about how this elderly Jedi made his way onto the Council. What we do know is that he once taught future Council members Dooku and Sifo Dyas as younglings, and was a close friend of Yoda, who by the time Sanube joined the Council, had long been established as the Grand Master. Sanube served on the Council for around 35 years before stepping down to spend less time involved in Jedi affairs. Number 26, Eula Braylen. Eula Braylen was a Jedi Master revered for her meditation practices and wisdom. An accomplished seeker, she spent much of her time as a Jedi searching the galaxy for Force-sensitive children to bring back to the Temple. It was this wisdom and commitment to the Order that allowed her a place on the Council, serving alongside Terra Sanube and Yoda. Braylen was eventually removed from the Council though after 30 years of service, when it was revealed she had a son. Scandal. Number 25, Holy Depation. As with many of the ancient members of the High Council, Master Holy Depation's time on the Council is kind of unexplored. He was known as a wise leader and served alongside the likes of Yoda and Eula Braylen, and stepped down from the Council a decade before the invasion of Naboo. Number 24, Dooku. Hehe, now we're talking. Dismissed by his superstitious parents once it became clear he was Force sensitive, Dooku found himself abandoned at the Jedi Temple and under the direction of renowned Master Terra Sanube. He was eventually taken as Grand Master Yoda's Padawan due to his passionate work ethic and desire to be the best that he could be. Also, he's cool as hell and game recognizes game. Under Yoda, he continued to strive for perfection, but often felt as though the Jedi weren't always willing to do what must be done to secure peace. Yoda eventually quelled his worries, making Dooku more wise and measured the ways of the Force, and with his abilities perfected, he was given the rank of Jedi Master and took a seat on the Council after Eula Braylen was removed. Dooku later became disillusioned with the Jedi Order though, and fell to the dark side, as was detailed in those brilliant animated shorts from the other year. Number 23, Jor Aerith and Alxa Cress. Jor Aerith was a Jedi Master who served on the Council alongside Dooku, Holy Depation, and Terra Sanube. She served on the Council for around 20 years, but the story behind how she attained her seat is not currently known in the official Star Wars canon. Alxa Cress, meanwhile, was a Master who at one time taught Mace Windu and was a keen meditator themselves. He served on the Council alongside Jor Aerith, holding his seat for 15 years, but like Aerith, his reasons for getting onto the Council are still shrouded in mystery. Number 22, Mace Windu. Trained by Jedi Master Sizzlin Mir, Mace Windu once doubted his ability to be a successful Jedi. As time went on, he learned to control his emotions and perfected a form of lightsaber combat commonly used by followers of the dark side. Finishing his training under the tutelage of Yoda, he soon proved to be one of the Order's greatest ever warriors and wisest minds, and was offered a place on the Jedi High Council around 10 years before the invasion of Naboo. He would serve there until the fall of the Republic and his death at the hands of Darth Sidious, but not before spouting memorable lines like, "Take a seat, young Skywalker," and "He is the traitor." Ugh. Iconic. Number 21, Jocasta Nu. Revered for her teachings and knowledge of the Order and its history, Jocasta Nu served on the Council only briefly, offered a seat because of her great wisdom and unwavering commitment to the ways of the Order. She served for a handful of years before stepping down to become Chief Librarian of the Jedi Archives, which she protected with her life for over 20 years, eventually dying in a duel with Darth Vader. Still, can't forgive her for shutting Obi-Wan down like that in Attack of the Clones, though. It doesn't exist? Yeah, well, you don't exist. Yeah. Number 20, Yarael Poof. Oh, this guy? We love this guy. Yarael Poof grew up in the Outer Rim territories and was renowned for his wise teachings and skills as a diplomat. Because of his wisdom and long tenure in the Order, he was offered a place on the Council and served as one of its members for around a decade. He was killed on a mission though before the invasion of Naboo, or alternatively, if you want to use Robot Chicken as canon, then I suggest you do, he lived on in disguise aboard the Death Star. Number 19, Eeth Koth. Eeth Koth is said to have started his training as a Jedi at an older age than most others, and because of this he had a much more powerful and mature hold of his emotions than other younglings in the Order. Because of his emotional control, he was given the rank of Master and found himself on the Council because of his measured assessments of Jedi affairs. He was also one of the few Council members who wanted to see Qui-Gon Jinn train Anakin Skywalker as a Jedi, understanding what it's like to start training later in life. Gotta respect the Qui-Gon love, Eth. Gotta respect the Qui-Gon love. Number 18, Gretz Droom. Trained by Master Jor Aerith and close friends with Qui-Gon Jinn, Gretz Droom, goddamn, that's just a cold as hell name, was an often brash and emotional Jedi Padawan who struggled with his need to be the best Jedi in the room. Through his master's teachings and some clashes with then Master Dooku, Droom soon proved to be ready to take a seat on the Jedi Council, sitting opposite his former master Jor Aerith in her final days on the Order. Number 17, Sifo Dyas. Before he commissioned the creation of the clone army on Kamino, Jedi Master Sifo Dyas trained under Master Lene Costona and was close friends with Dooku when the two were Padawans. Known as a young Jedi learner to be adventurous and intrigued by the ways of the Order and how it conducted itself, he was often jealous of Dooku's superior abilities, but learned through his master to control his emotions. He would later become a Jedi Master and was offered a place on the Council, having been recognized as a great thinker and follower of the Jedi way of life. He took the seat of longtime member Holy Depation. Number 16, Depa Billaba. Kidnapped by pirates at a young age, and that's something I don't think many of us can actually say, Depa Billaba was rescued by Master Mace Windu, who took her as his apprentice when he realized she was Force sensitive. She was renowned for her lightsaber skills, and through Windu, she learned how to best use her emotions in combat. With her training complete and her skills perfected, Windu offered her a place by his side of the Jedi Council, which she took, eventually training Caleb Doom, aka Kanan Jarrus, before being killed as seen in the Bad Batch during Order 66. Number 15, Sarsee Tin. One of the Order's most accomplished warriors and pilots during the final years of the Republic, Sarsee Tin served on the Council sometime before the invasion of Naboo, until his death at the hands of Palpatine before the execution of Order 66. Yeah, he was one of those guys who got his butt absolutely wiped in like half a second. Still one of the most disappointing Star Wars moments ever. Despite his place in the Star Wars canon being more recent than many others on this list, Master Tin's background is not really that well known, though it's safe to assume he found a seat on the Council because of his bravery and collected emotions in times of crisis. Also, he just looks really cool. Number 14, Colin Treebor. Colin Treebor was known as a meditator and was proud of his Jedi title, being the only member of his entire species to be part of the Order. A strong duelist with an interest in the Jedi Archives, he was offered a seat on the Council, replacing the late Master Yarael Poof. R.I.P. King. He fought and died in the first battle of Geonosis, getting absolutely shredded by Jango Fett after an audacious attempt to kill Dooku. Number 13, Yaddle. From the same species as revered Jedi Master Yoda, Yaddle served on the Council for nearly a decade before things kind of went a bit bad around the time of the Phantom Menace. It was because of her wisdom that she had attained from the Jedi Archives that Yaddle eventually found her place on the Council, where she proved to be a voice of reason and consideration amongst the other Peacekeepers. The mystery of what happened to Yaddle in the new canon was finally resolved in the aforementioned Tales of the Jedi animated series, which revealed how she came closer than anyone to unmasking the Sith conspiracy, years before the events of Revenge of the Sith, only to be killed by Count Dooku. Number 12. Plo Koon. As a Jedi Knight, Plo Koon spent most of his time partaking in dangerous peacekeeping missions across the galaxy. He often assisted Master Mace Windu in the field and became quickly regarded as one of the Order's wisest and most powerful members. Because of his success in the early stages of his Jedi career, he was elevated to the rank of Master and was given a seat on the Jedi Council because of his wisdom and combat skills. He served on the Council right up until the fall of the Republic, when he fell during Order 66. Number 11. Ki-Adi-Mundi. Mr. What About the Droid Attack on the Wookiees himself, Ki-Adi-Mundi was appointed to the Jedi Council prior to the invasion of Naboo, and was often approached because of his logical outlook on life. He joined the Council after years of training and traveling the galaxy, going on many missions, and working to achieve peace throughout the Republic. His resourcefulness, nobility, and wisdom secured him a place on the Council during his middle age, a post which he happily served on until his death during Order 66. So a bit of a theme going on here. Number 10. Evan Peel. As a Jedi, Evan Peel was seen as gruff and unapproachable. Short in stature, but intimidating in appearance and demeanor, he excelled in lightsaber combat and gained a reputation as a fierce and courageous warrior, always willing to jump into a fight. After years of training and going on galactic missions, he was noticed by the Council as someone who could take a seat and be an invaluable member. He served until his death during the Clone Wars, where he was mourned by the allies who respected him, despite his cult personality. Number 9. Adi Gallia. Born into a proud and disciplined diplomatic family, Adi Gallia took her duty as a Jedi very seriously, becoming passionate and committed to the Order during her time as a Padawan. She was also interested in the actions of the Senate, something which few other Jedi were actually concerned with. Maybe if they were, they could have averted the whole rise of the Empire thing. It was due to this commitment to the Order and the Code, as well as her ability to balance her teachings whilst understanding the politics of the Order, as she proved to be an invaluable member of the Council. She held her position until her untimely death during the Clone Wars at the hands of Darth Maul's brother, Savage Opress. Number 8. Oppo Rancisis. Trained in the ways of the Force by renowned Master Yaddle, much is known about this old Jedi Master despite him looking really cool. Underexplored in this new canon, Rancisis was known to be a contemplative and wise Jedi who was often sought for his wisdom, much like his former master, and it's probably due to this wise nature that he was able to reach the Council. Number 7. Shaak Ti. Before accepting her seat on the Council, Shaak Ti was already seen by the Council as one of the Order's most compassionate and wisest warriors. And if you've seen the 2003 Clone Wars series, then yeah, that's pretty true. There isn't actually a canon reason for why Shaak Ti joined the Council, which is kind of surprising. However, the original reason that she took her position in Legends was that Master Yaddle had stepped down, wishing to be less involved in Jedi affairs. Shaak Ti can be noticeably seen in Episode 2, where she fought alongside the rest of the Council during the Battle of Geonosis, which signaled the beginning of the Clone Wars, where she became the Council's representative on Kamino and helped train the clones. Number 6. Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto was known as one of the Order's strongest duelists during the Clone Wars. Not that you'd be able to tell that, given how he went out against Darth Sidious, but you know, I suppose we all can't have perfect days in the office. On a serious note, Kit Fisto is really cool. He was wise and measured in his decisions and held a strong control over his emotions, which made him a fierce opponent. Despite this, he was also able to have a joke around, unlike many of his allies in the Order. Because of his actions during the Battle of Geonosis, he was offered the seat of Master Trebor and took it, serving on the Council until his death at the hands of Palpatine. Number 5. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Few Jedi were as revered and as powerful as my favorite, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Wise, compassionate, calm, and a master of lightsaber combat and strategy, he was trained in the ways of the Force by my other favorite, Master Qui-Gon Jinn, who was trained by my other favorite, Count Dooku. Just a cool lineage there. Having defeated Darth Maul and trained the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, before the beginning of the Clone Wars even got started, Obi-Wan was finally offered a seat on the Council due to his actions on Geonosis and his past dealings with the Sith. He was only allowed a seat once Anakin became a knight, and he served on the Council until the fall of the Republic. Number 4. Coleman Kaj. A great strategic mind and lightsaber combatant, Master Coleman Kaj was one of the Council's last ever additions, though the exact circumstances surrounding how he secured a seat on the Council are not currently known. He was present during the final Council meetings concerning Obi-Wan's mission to take down General Grievous, and with the fall of the Republic, he, like fellow Council members Oppo Rancisis, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, went into hiding and was reportedly never found, so good on you, Coleman. Number 3. Stas Ali. The cousin of Adi Gallia, Jedi Master Stas Ali ended up taking her relative's place on the Council after her death. She was stern and tough, a great combatant, and she was a master of Force healing, something very few Jedi were able to master. Following the Battle of Geonosis, she served during the Clone Wars and eventually found herself on the Council, replacing her late cousin before dying during Order 66. Number 2. Asian Kolar. Asian Kolar was the last Jedi Master appointed to the Council before the Republic fell to the Empire, so bad luck there, buddy. He was placed on the Council following the removal of Master Eth Koth and Master Koth's decision to leave the Order entirely. Because of his skills as a duelist and the high regard he was held in by Mace Windu and Sarsy Tin, Kolar was deemed an appropriate replacement. And number 1, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker's inclusion to the Council was a crafty move put in place by the Council themselves. Following Anakin's defeat of Count Dooku and the rescue of Chancellor Palpatine, the Jedi began to sense great darkness surrounding Palpatine, and used Anakin's relationship with the leader to spy on him. Placing him on the Council without giving him the rank of Master, take a seat young Skywalker, etc., they hoped to gain intelligence about the Chancellor's activities, and hoo boy, the whole plan backfired, pushing Anakin further to the dark side and deepening his distrust of the Council, all as Palpatine had planned.